What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Kona, Day 1. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while. I actually came back to the little farmstead we were at. And so in the previous episode, you'll recall we wandered out that way. And then we came back. We had found like some kind of quiver. It looked like it's a quiver. That's what I think it was. I went back and I looked at it again. I actually had to play up to this point a second time. But I looked at it. I think it's a quiver. Pretty sure it's a quiver. Now, we haven't searched this house yet. Ooh, somebody puts their door key.
Sake. Yet another key hidden under a doormat. Nowadays, Carl found his job didn't present him with much of a challenge.
So what you're saying is you want to be unable to find the key that enables you to continue your investigation. I'll take an easy. Never knock easy, my friends. Never knock easy. Easy is the best. Easy is recoverable. Easy means you don't have to spend half a day wandering around looking for some shit, trying to figure out where it is. So I'll take it. What we have going on in here? We got a bunch of paint rollers, just in case you want to roll out on some unpainted walls. We've got what looks like giant cans of something. Okay. Apparently somebody enjoys canning around here. My mom used to do that when I was a kid, actually. That's one of my more pleasant memories. We had apricot trees, we had pomegranate trees, we had peach trees in the backyard, and my mom would make preserves, and we just end up with dozens and dozens. We had the jars, and my mom would sell them for extra money when the family was going through rough times, stuff like that. Pretty good, though. Ooh, there's drawers. Got ourselves some nails. Oh, a lantern. Yes, please. I would love to no longer have to hold this. There's some well-labeled packages in there. I don't know, some kilos of cocaine or something. Looks like they're cardboard, though. Maybe it's just a shadow. Who knows? Drug smuggling in Kona. We just learned it.
Catholic always strives to keep lowly temptations at bay. Obviously, Carl thought, someone in this house wasn't doing a good job at upholding the Holy Bible's teachings.
Has anybody ever told Carl he's a little judgmental?
A peculiar key indeed, too small to fit in a door lock. What sort of miniature object was it meant for?
More than likely some kind of safe or some kind of like safe spot. I don't see anything over here, although it did look like we could investigate on this side. Looks like somebody had to hide their habits. Well, I mean, we're here after the fact. Like, what if those beers were drunk over like a month? I mean, I would agree if you've got that many beers sitting around per day, like on the side of your trash can, you may have an alcoholism issue. But what if you just built that up over like 2 weeks? I mean, I don't ever clean my house, so I know it looks bad when people come over and there's just tall boys stacked up everywhere. My mom saw it and she's like, I think you drink too much. I'm like, no, that's from I don't clean my house. I'm not an alcoholic. I just don't clean the house at all. And so there's just tall boys everywhere. See, this is a spot that speaks to me personally because I've been there. I'm like, no! I'm not failing on moral, ethical, or physical ground. I'm fine. I don't have a problem, I swear. So we found the key to the house.
The house smelled like incense, the kind that reminds you of the good Lord, of peace.
I have never smelled that kind of incense. The only incense that I recognize is the incense they have in like head shops that just like reeks. The whole place smells hella bad. Some garlic right there, just in case you wanted some cloves of garlic. Some bread. They just keep it on the shelf though. Wouldn't it get kind of stale? I guess if you plan on eating it like that day, but still. I'm not a big fan of stale bread. I ate a lot of stale bread when I was younger, and I'm just like, no loose change in the cracks. Probably used to watch Le Jour de Seigneur. What is this?
Religion was very influential throughout Quebec many years ago. Indeed, it was surprising that Carl did not come across a single chapel since arriving here.
Got an Etch-a-Sketch and a ball on this side, which seems to imply either they have an adult who loves playing with Etch-a-Sketches, or B, that there's a child around. On the wings of a snow-white dove, he sends his pure, sweet love. Sorry, Bible songs happened. Bible songs happened. I grew up going to church like 80 times a week. My family was really, really, really religious. To the extent that, like, we need a magnet? Okay, use the magnet. What did that do? Did it give me anything? Oh, I've got a wired magnet. So I've taken a magnet and I've attached a string to it so that I can dangle it, probably use it as some kind of pickup device. Not for women, but for objects down holes and whatnot. If you're using pickup devices, I think your game might be a little weak. If it relies on extra, like, I saw a guy at the mall one time who had like a 20-foot boa constrictor. He was a mall pimp. Anyways, he had gaiters on, and he was carrying like a 10-foot boa constrictor with him. Like, I feel like the point at which your game plan for meeting women relies on like 10-foot snakes and shit like that, you may want to reevaluate your game strategy. You might want to go back to scratch and be like, well, maybe I could develop a personality. What in the hell is that?
Who knew that giraffes thrived in the North Pole? The craze for toys was stupefying.
It's a giraffe wearing a top hat and a monocle. Oh my god, what is this?
Love of religion and ancestors was rooted deep inside the hearts of Canadians of old, to which the Bedards appeared to be closely related.
Nothing inside the cabinets except for linens. Every time I play a game like this, it just makes me wish my apartment had more storage space. Like, for realsies, my apartment, everything just sits out in the open because there's no storage space at all. Like, all the cabinets are more for, like, decoration than anything actually useful. Is there no light switch in here?
The family's mother must have spent her days washing the filth off her kids' diapers.
Oh, they're using them cloth diapers. Those OG diapers. Ugh, my face touched it. Gnarly. My face touched baby diaper. Today did not turn out how I... What was inside that trash can? You know, I don't even want to know. It looks like somebody had diarrhea in the trash. I can't make it to the toilet. It's an entire hallway away. I give up. Bowels unleashed. Got that Chipotle feeling. Got that Taco Bell aftershock going on.
The Bedards had vacated the premises. Carl gathered they would be of no help.
Jean-Luc never had a knack for mathematics. Try as he might, he'll never realize that he simply cannot be the father of the child that I'm bearing. But how can I be sure? I have to keep this a secret at least until the time is right when it'll be safe. Mr. Beaupre told me it would start showing soon, that I couldn't keep it hidden forever. Gotta muster courage, he said, with his usual condescending tone. Courage to face what's coming, but he doesn't get it at all. For him, I just had some childish affair. He doesn't realize I brought eternal damnation upon myself. Mary is very sick, and Jean-Luc plunges into despair. I told him nothing about the evil growing inside of me. Sometimes I get the feeling he can't see right around me anymore. My Marie's suffering, and I'm the one to blame. Oh, Lord Almighty, why do children have to pay for their parents' sins? Just the natural order of things. That's how it works. Ain't no family get away with nothing free. Nothing inside that closet right there. It would appear as though we've more or less tapped out this location. Unless we have a body in here or anything. Looks like they have small children in here, and they're encouraging them to smile. That, or they really enjoy a place that's called the S-Mile. One of the two. He's got a picture of a wolf right there. A woof. Is that actually the French word for wolf? That's slightly humorous because my cousin used to say dogs would go like... His dog's name was Wolfgang, but he called him Woofy because he couldn't say L sounds when he was a kid, so it was Woofy instead of Wolfie. Got a Bible with a loading symbol on it. Or wait, no, that says history. The history of Secondary 2. Huh. Either way, it's never a good sign when your book needs to load before you can read it. Probably froze up and they're like, oh, where's the control out delete on this thing?
Too bad the Bedards hightailed it out of here. Jean-Luc could have led Carl straight to William Hamilton's doorstep.
I have a diary, just like Mom. Unlike her, though, I don't wear a long face when writing, but I do love to write my mind, and about Martin most of all. I love talking about him, and I think he loves me too, just like in Romeo and Juliet. People don't like it when I see him, only because he's ablaze. But just like in the story, nothing can stand in the way of true love. I've lost appetite. I can't sleep anymore. Every waking hour, intense shivers run through my body. Dad's making me see Dr. Beaupre with his big hands touching me everywhere, his foul breath exhaling all over my face. Yuck, I'm not sick, I'm in love. I love Martin so much. There's nothing I like better than thinking about us playing together like we always do. I wonder if he found the key I lost the other day. He was pretty sad when I did, because it's for his dad's garden shed, and Martin has always been afraid of him. I think Martin's dad is a bit like Dad's God. The key fell in a burrow next to the shed. Poor Martin, he cried like a baby, but I still love him. Crayons on the floor. That's an instantaneous way to get murdered by my mom. My mom's going in with them hands if you leave crayons on the floor. My mom was very protective of, like, the carpet. And also... Ooh, I'm not squatting anymore. That's good. My mom was protective of the carpet and the walls. The carpet and the walls. Those were the two forbidden places where you shall never leave anything dirty, lest you die horrifically. And this just goes out to the back. You know, I like these little homes. They're humble. That cabinet just closed on its own, though, and that's a little terrifying. Unless it's one of those spring-loaded ones. I was looking at condos a while back because I thought maybe I would move away from where I live because I don't like it. Unfortunately, life had other plans. But, wonder if it's worth it to wander out here anywhere. It's probably a bad idea, considering there's really not a lot of landmarks. And we do have a lot of whiteout going on right now. It does, however, look like there's crossed trees over there. How quickly are we losing our warmth? I've noticed that there are trees bent over all over the place, and they tend to signify some kind of loot is over there, or at least a campsite. Yes, indeed. It looks like somebody's put down a campsite here. Along with a bunch of loot, and there's more wolf tracks. Okay. What's on this side? Okay. I was trying to check and see how our warmth was doing. Whenever you're in this situation, in a survival game, you kind of got to pay attention. Let's follow the tracks, I guess. It might be a poor idea. On the other hand, it might lead us to something that's worthwhile. The last time we followed the tracks, we ended up, and actually, I should probably... Let me grab my equipment here. I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to put that on the 2 slot. I'm going to put the map on the 3 slot. And then the 4 slot can be meat, I guess. I just want to make sure we're protected in case anything comes at us over here. We are, after all, following the rather large footprints of a lupine creature that may not be so happy about our ability to track his whereabouts. Keeping an eye along the periphery to see if we can figure out what goes in any of these directions. This may leave us off in the edge of the map, though. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. Last track ends right there. Warmth is a tiny bit low. Oh no, last track was not right there. Last track's over here. And it looks like it leads to some kind of backwoods tent or camping site. That was the top of a barn for a second, but no, that works. What's going on over here? Got flint, tinder, some painkillers. Can we get inside the tent for warmth? We cannot. Looks like the tracks lead back this way. Our warmth is still looking pretty solid, so I'm going to keep on trucking and follow these tracks. It may lead us way further out than we expected to be, so you always got to be careful that you don't get stuck in the moment when you're going after like little things like this. Stop paying attention to meters and things of that nature. However, it has led us to treasures, so I do like treasure a lot. I don't know if these are the footsteps of a wolf that's just wandering around, or if they're footsteps with purpose. Oh, we've got a dock over here. Did it add those to my... It did. It added the campsites to the list. We're pretty far out right now. Our ability to recover is somewhat hindered if we don't end up finding anything useful. I hope we come across something that has a function over here. A little bit of a load chug on that side. Looks like the paw prints went off in that direction. Is there anything on the dock? Can this be added to my locations? I just want to have a fully filled out map. In all honesty. There's a little boat back here. Our warmth is looking a little suspect, so I'm thinking we should head back to the car. I think we're probably somewhat near... Actually, we're across the street from the gas station. I didn't think we had traveled that far, but I suppose that we have. Yeah, we're going to cut back. We're going to make a straight line right now and try to just get back where we can warm up inside the general store. That might be a little safer. We had to come back over here anyways, because all of you had pointed out that the trunk on the car in the garage can be opened, and for some reason I hadn't really noticed, and so in we go, I guess. Man, this weather, it does not inspire confidence. I don't actually know if this is going to make my warmth go up. Still, if we stay in here for a bit, maybe it will. Huh. It's kind of problematic. I can't put that back down. Looked like the trunk opened all on its lonesome. Yeah, it looks like once you raise the car... That's really unfortunate. I wish I knew what was in there. It would make me feel better. I would feel much more... I came all the way back over here, and I can't even get back into the car. We've got the power on. The lift is working, so I think you just can't put the lift back down after you get the crowbar. It's kind of a minor inconvenience, and I'm sure it was just like cigarettes or something in the trunk. Hopefully it's nothing like vital that you have to have for the storyline. Otherwise, this could get a little bit precarious, couldn't it? Be a little bit troublesome. I don't suppose I can pick up any of this wood over here. Nope.
It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
Alright, I'm working on it. Calm down. People had also mentioned that maybe I had missed something over here. So, let me turn on the store real fast.
By all appearances, the general store also served as a post office. Letters and packages awaited the locals' daily visit.
You know, it's possible that the little key is for one of these boxes. It looks like they're not going to open, though. So maybe not. Yeah. They did have a list of, on this side, they had like a list of places. Oh, we're still getting colder. Alright, we may have to fight our way back to the... Oh, it's warmer back here, though. Good. Why is it warmer back here versus anywhere else? I don't see a heater or anything of that nature. Doesn't matter, I'll take it. Works perfectly fine by me. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe that key would be the key to a safety deposit box. That would actually be just the sort of thing you'd be looking for, but it appears as though none of these can be opened using said key. This one right here, it targets the one on the right or the left, so I don't think that one's been activated yet. It's possible. I think that maybe they've got a list of where people live over here next to the counter. That's not the one that I need. I need this one on this side. Let's crack this thing open real fast. Ticky, ticky, ticky. And then we had a list right here. Well, maybe it's not, actually. No, that is their address. It's 1554 for Sylvie Bedard. And then the other house they said was... Whose house were we just in? We were in the Bedards first. They were the ones... a little confused, but yeah. The numbers don't match up. I don't know if there's any indicator on the key that we picked up here. Oh, we've got a talisman. Okay. Did I use the key on something? I did unlock that book. Maybe the book was Maybe it was the book that was locked and then I did that. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It wasn't a safety deposit key. It was one of those little keys that goes to like a journal or whatever so that you can't open it up without snipping the edges. I think we'll probably walk on back. I love the foot. If you look at your feet right now, I love the way the footprints work. Like the snow just looks so good when you step on it. Like it's actually got like a little animation as the snow puffs out from underneath your foot. Feel the need to be intensely careful while I walk around. I've had a few humorous bugs while playing. Like I walked past a tree one time and it just flung me into the sky like thousands of feet up, all the way across the map. It was an interesting experience. Let's go find our vehicle, shall we? Man, I traveled a long ways, didn't I? I got out there. Well, unfortunately, there's a long, cold walk in front of us, so we don't really have much of an option. Picking up the car functions as sort of a base of operations away from base. That's essentially what I use it for, is warming up when I'm in a location where you can't otherwise warm up. I think we're on the lookout for a gas can right now, and then they mentioned we've got a burrow back at a previous place where a key had been dropped, and I think from my own playthroughs, I know what they're talking about. I'll try to keep an eye out for it anyways. I think our stuff is over here. Yeah, this looks like the right spot. We can give it another once over, but I don't think it'll really help that much, in all honesty. I think the location's pretty much tapped out. Don't follow power lines, by the way. I've heard people recommend that before in survival videos, but it's a bad plan. In some rural areas, power lines can go on for like days worth of walking without you finding anything. Not a single thing. Train tracks are the same way. Train tracks go through some of the most rural locations like in the United States. So it can be a really, really, really bad plan to follow train tracks. You might be taking yourself further away from civilization. Did I ever sweep the back of the building right here? There's a wood pile. I don't know how many logs I have on me, but I'll bring a couple just in case. We've got another one of those totems over here. I would assume that you would notice one of those had been placed on your property if it wasn't placed by you, and then you would remove it. So I don't know if that thing is the trigger for the monster, like so you place it on somebody's property and the monster attacks, or if it's some kind of ward that keeps the creature away from you, which at this point appears to be some kind of wolf with super awesome Sub-Zero powers. Come on, flip it back around. You got this thing. Looks like we can't actually go off the beaten trail with this car. I'd never actually tried that out. I just learned a new thing right now. You can't take the car off the road. It's probably a good plan anyways. I just get myself into trouble if you give me that kind of freedom. I'm going to drive back to the general store, and we'll get ready to go to the next location. However, up until then, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here for the next episode of Kona Day 1. I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes. Bye, everybody.